At the G7 summit in Canada's stunning Rockies, world leaders stood divided as the Israel-Iran conflict overshadowed talks on trade, energy, and global economics. Their mix of cautious optimism, sharp criticism, and urgent calls for de-escalation underscored the challenge of addressing the Middle East crisis. US President Donald Trump, a key figure at the summit, expressed optimism about resolving the tensions. Brushing off claims that Israel's strikes aim to sabotage nuclear talks, he insisted progress was near.
I'm in constant touch, and as I've been saying, I think a deal will be signed, or something will happen, but a deal will be signed. And I think Iran is foolish not to sign one.
President, Iran is accusing Netanyahu of attacking them to deliberately derail your nuclear plan that you had. What do you say to that? Do you think that's true?
No. Look, Iran should have signed the deal.
French President Emmanuel Macron called for an immediate ceasefire, endorsing US-led efforts to broker peace. He affirmed France's willingness, alongside the UK and Germany, to pursue serious talks to stabilize the region once hostilities cease.
Two things. Firstly, the president, U.S. President Donald Trump, said a few minutes ago that discussions were underway, which is a good thing. And so, if the United States of America can secure a ceasefire, that's a very good thing, and France will support it, and we hope they do.
UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer highlighted the conflict's wider risks, warning of potential fallout in Gaza and global markets. While recognizing Israel's right to self-defense and concerns over Iran's nuclear ambitions, he emphasized de-escalation as a G7 priority.
Well, it is really important that we focus on de-escalation because the risks of the conflict escalating are obvious across the region and beyond the region. The impact that this could and probably will have on Gaza, which is a tinderbox, and of course the impact on the economy. That is why at the G7 there's such a focus on de-escalation. That'll be an intense discussion for our talks today.
Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan struck a critical tone, slamming Israel's actions and Western backing. He claimed the strikes on Iran's nuclear sites masked broader, sinister motives and urged a return to negotiations.
Israel, which attacks Iran with the unlimited support from the West, destroys Gaza, and bullies every country in the region, is not aware of what it is doing. Perhaps it will realize its mistake in the future, but we are afraid that by then it will be too late.
Russia, though not at the G7, condemned the escalation via Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov, who signaled Moscow's readiness to address the crisis while noting the worsened situation.
Russia maintains its readiness to do whatever is necessary to eliminate the root causes of this crisis and to find a resolution to the so-called Iranian dossier. However, the situation is escalated more than seriously, and of course, all this has changed the state of affairs for the worse.
The G7 summit exposed the fragile balance between diplomacy, economic goals, and geopolitical strains. With Trump's unpredictable stance and clashing views among allies, a unified approach to the Israel-Iran conflict proved elusive, leaving the road to de-escalation uncertain.